All right, what is going on, Laker fans? All right, there's just a FYI, a heads up here. There's a lot going on tonight. Apparently, the Lakers basically doing their exit interviews tonight. So I'm going to spend a lot of time. Sammy's going to be spending a lot of time trying to get some of the stories over to me, some quotes that were coming. I tried to listen to every interview possible. Spectrum just finished. So I think I got everything that I need. So thank you for hanging out. We're going to get into everything. You know, unfortunately, the game is becoming secondary and the series is becoming secondary because all the other questions that are out there, it came out tonight that Darvin Ham's job is in serious jeopardy. LeBron did not answer the question of this is the final game. Is this the final game as a Laker? D'Lo didn't really give any information about his stuff. So this is going to be a little bit all over the place. We'll do the best that we can. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Okay, hey, a shitty way to start the show, but here's the reality. Laker season's over. That's it. It's done. Another game where the Los Angeles Lakers are right there, have an opportunity to win the game, hang with the Denver Nuggets, hang with the defending champs. At moments in the game, you think, I think the Lakers are going to pull it out. And then when the dust settles, it's Jamal Murray hitting another freaking shot to end the Lakers season. He single-handedly won 2 games for the Denver Nuggets. This series went 4 games to 1, even though it 100% did not feel like a series that was 4 games to 1. Usually 4-1 means it's very lopsided. I did not think this series was lopsided. Structurally, I'm just going to give everybody kind of an idea how I'm going to do this because there is a lot going on. I'm going to talk about the game. So for those that are here just to talk about the rumors and everything else, I'll go as long as I need to go tonight. I'm going to eventually talk about the rumors. There's Trae Young rumors already. There's, like I said, Darvin Ham rumors already, LeBron rumors, D'Lo, all that stuff. But I'm going to talk about the game as well because I feel it just happened. It's raw. The Lakers season is over. Why did they lose this game? What happened in this game? I feel like I want to talk about the game, so I'm going to do that. Once I do, I'll start getting into all the other ancillary stuff that's out there. Obviously, a lot happened tonight, so there's a lot to get into. I'm going to start out with the actual basketball game and the Lakers losing 108-106. It's a tough one again. It really is. I mean, talking to Sammy here, and Sammy's in the background. He's working on all the comments. If you got any super chats, throw them in. I'll do my best to get to all the comments, but super chat I'm 100% get into. But I was talking to Sammy that this is not a series that felt like it was lopsided. The Lakers, I believe the final number was led 70% of the series. Okay, fine. Put that aside. I think that's a little misleading. Yes, the Lakers had leads, but at the end of the day, did you win the game or did you not? And obviously, the Denver Nuggets were finding ways to win. But if you just go back in this series, Game 2 loss up 20, the buzzer-beating shot by Jamal Murray. Missed free throws. LeBron missed 3, blowing the lead. Lakers not using timeouts. Anthony Davis, after that game, basically saying that there's long stretches. There's stretches where the Lakers don't know what they're doing on both sides of the ball. Okay, awful. Game 3, another L. Okay, put that to the side. Game 4, you won. Come in here on Game 5 and tell me that the Lakers did not deserve to find a way to win this game. Now, they had some moments where they definitely shot themselves in the foot. Team stats, this is what's crazy to me, how the Lakers lost this game tonight. A couple key stats. Lakers shot 66% from the free throw line. Dinwiddie, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Taurean Prince, go down the list of all, Rui Hachimura. Everyone missed key free throws. And when it's a 2-point game and you leave 9 free throws on the board, obviously you're not going to win many games doing that. Lakers obviously didn't win this game. That has a lot to do with it. How about those big-time offensive rebounds by Aaron Gordon? One of the last ones that he got with LeBron, and I forget who was on the backside. It could have been D'Lo, Reeves, whoever it was. He still pulls down the board, gives the ball to Jamal Murray. Lakers finally got the stop that they needed, gives the ball to Jamal Murray. He hits a back-breaking 3. No timeouts for the Lakers at the end of the game. So unfortunately for the Lakers, there was no time to call a timeout, move the ball to half court, and get some type of a set play. Lakers 10 of 35 from the three-point line. Couldn't hit a three. I thought there were so many little things that the Lakers, if they just did a little bit better, they're back in Los Angeles for Game 6, taking on the Denver Nuggets, and there's some serious pressure on the Denver Nuggets. And that's not even me including Game 2 of all the different things that happened. Just a series that does not feel like it was one-sided. And, in 10 years, people are going to look and they say, oh, Denver beat the Lakers 2 years in a row, 8 games to 1. Even though it never felt like that was the case, even though it never felt like, listen, are the Denver Nuggets, are they executing at the end of games 100%? Are they a really amazing veteran squad that you got to give a lot of credit to? Sure, 100%. However, I will say with all that, they got holes too. That team wasn't perfect. That team's in serious jeopardy of losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the next round, but they weren't perfect. I thought the Lakers certainly had their opportunities, and frankly, I think the Lakers got to be upset with themselves to kind of let some of these games slip away and not take advantage of certain opportunities and not execute towards the end of games. And, unfortunately for the Lake Show, their season is done while the Denver Nuggets are just getting started, and we're going to see what eventually happens there. But a key part of the game, Anthony Davis. Guys, Anthony Davis took one shot in the second half. I read it. Let me find the exact quote here. I saw, it was Mike Trudell that had it here. Davis said he was having trouble moving his shoulder, but credited his trainers for digging into my scapula to relax the nerves and stuff like that to get it close enough to return. Whatever it was and whatever happened to Anthony Davis, at the end of the day, unfortunately, Anthony Davis is going to be remembered for always some kind of an injury holding him back. Even in the regular season, he had the issue with his eye. Then he had the nausea and headache or something along those lines. That was the game after. They lost a couple key games that certainly hurt them in the standings and didn't help having to play the Denver Nuggets. He always seemed to have moments, period. So even in a season where he played 75-plus games, he always had moments. And whatever that play was with Michael Porter Jr. on TV, to the naked eye, it didn't look like it was that big of a deal, but it certainly stopped Anthony Davis from being effective in the second half. That happened about the 10-minute mark in the third quarter. So the entire second half, you kind of couldn't depend on Anthony Davis. And I'll go take a look at his stats here real quick. 17 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. Only took 11 shots, only got to the free throw line twice. He had, if I'm correct here, 2 free throws in the second half and 1 shot attempt. That's it. AD had a monster series, except in game 2 where he only took 1 shot in the fourth quarter. And his final game, obviously he wasn't able to be Anthony Davis, but whether you like it or not, that's going to kind of continue to travel with Anthony Davis. It's going to. And I've always said this, and I'll say it again. I'm not somebody that likes talking about somebody's injuries, but I think it's impossible not to have that conversation about Anthony Davis. Especially you see Jamal Murray was questionable, had the calf strain, ended up playing, and, we obviously know what he did. KCP was hobbling around. I felt KCP's pain with every step that he was taking. Went back to the locker room, came back in, went back to the locker room, came back in. LeBron turned an ankle. He stayed in the game. So, unfortunately for Anthony Davis, that's part of what we're going to remember Anthony Davis for, is that in some key moments he wasn't there for the Lakers in these playoffs. Let me keep going on some of these individual players because there's a lot more that I want to get into before I start getting into everything else that's going on around the Los Angeles Lakers. There's a lot of comments right now. I'll do my best to get to them at some point, and then I'll take it from there. Um, all right. Okay. I'm going to come back to some of that stuff. Sammy's grabbing me a lot of quotes that I'll go back to here in just a little bit. I'm going to stay with the actual game for a quick second. This was also a game that the Lakers finally had help from everybody except for Anthony Davis. AD didn't have his game. Bron gave you 30, 11, and 9. Rui Hachimura finally showed up. Even though he wasn't the most efficient, I thought Rui was good. Had 15 points. Michael Thompson, the pregame show, literally his exact quote is Rui's going to have – my prediction, Rui's going to have 15 tonight. He had 15. D'Lo gave you 14, 6 assists. Austin Reeves gave you 19, 3 steals, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Nobody was really efficient. D'Lo was 2 of 10 from the field. Austin Reeves, or 2 of 10 from the 3. Austin Reeves was 1 of 4. So nobody was really efficient. Even Bron, 11 for 21. That's actually very efficient. But you had every starter scoring double figures. You got Dinwiddie that gave you a couple of threes off the bench. So you felt like you had enough, but AD didn't have his monster game that we're accustomed to, and it was other players that had to step up. I got really just one thing on the other side of this, which is going to be about the Denver Nuggets, and then I'll start getting into some of the other storylines and the rest of the comments that everybody has right now. I don't know why the Lakers are doing their exit interviews tonight. It really kind of takes away from talking about the series, but it tells you something that they're all ready to move on and call it a season. Jamal Murray was questionable, ended up with 32. Listen, I know there's a lot of Laker fans who hate Jamal Murray right now. I don't blame you. I know there's a lot of Laker fans that are looking at Jamal Murray as just a complete killer against the Lakers. I don't blame you. But that dude, in the biggest of moments, had no problem stepping up and taking those big time shots. He did it again tonight. Ended up with 32 on 13 of 28 from the field. Hit 5. This is actually his best game that he played so far in this series because he was efficient. Also had 7 dimes. He killed the Lakers tonight. Nikola Jokic kind of quietly, which is crazy. 25, 20, and 9. Aaron Gordon killed the Lakers because of his offensive rebounds. Had 13 rebounds. 5 of them were offensive rebounds. Just a killer. Jokic had a couple offensive rebounds as well. And a team that really does not use their bench ends up playing everyone. 46 minutes for Aaron Gordon, 46 minutes for Michael Porter Jr., 41 for Jokic and Murray. And the only reason why KCP played 33 minutes is because his freaking ankle was demolished. That dude just powered through it. So Denver moves on 108 to 106. All right, let me get to some of your comments, and then I'll start getting into all this other stuff. Kind of some juicy stuff around the Lakers right now. And nobody's really waiting on it. I cannot believe we celebrated an in-season tournament and popped champagne to lose gentleman's sweep in the first round. Yeah, the in-season tournament, if that's the highlight this year, that's a problem. I still look. Listen, I was at Crypto. What's today? Monday? I was at Crypto on Saturday. I looked up and I'm like, is that banner still there next to all the other banners? It's still there, by the way. Everyone is calling for Ham's head. Who the hell is going to replace him? Don't have that answer for you, but I know that's definitely going on right now. All right, let me get to some of these here. Darvin Ham cost us way too many games. He did make some effective adjustments against Denver, but he got to go, and Hachimura is a huge liability. All right, I'm just going to give everybody a quick heads up here. I'm going to get through all the supers right now, and there's a lot of them. So if you do want to comment, I encourage you to put in a super. I'll still try my best to try to get to the others, but I'm going to get through these right now. This is where the Lakers screwed themselves this year. Where they screwed themselves this year is you played 50-plus games with Taurean Prince in the starting lineup when clearly he shouldn't have been. Finally, when you change the starting lineup to Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Rui Hachimura, You went 19-6 with that starting lineup to close out the year. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because you were hoping that Lakers seeding-wise didn't have to face Denver in the first round. Was there a little bad luck? Sure there was. Denver lost, and then Minnesota lost their last game against the against the Phoenix Suns, and next thing you know, Lakers happened to be in the number 7 spot because they beat the Pelicans, and Denver's waiting for them at number 2. Was there a little bit of bad luck? Sure, there was. But last year, the Lakers got good luck, and that's just kind of what happens in life. Sometimes you have good luck, sometimes you have bad luck, and it eventually evens itself out, Darvin Ham, there were moments with Darvin, and this is going to be my next topic, by the way, just so everybody to know. We're going to start talking about Darvin Ham, and there's some reports out there that we could start getting into as well. But Darvin Ham, there were a lot of times this year, specifically in the playoffs as well, obviously those first couple of games, specifically game 2, I didn't know what he was doing. You can't have, in critical games in the playoffs, you can't have stretches where you feel like there's no plays being ran. You can't have your best players saying that we have stretches where we don't know what we're doing on both sides of the ball. You can't walk away with 2 timeouts and a challenge. Again, I'm going back to game 2. That one game could be the difference of making this a series and not. That one game could be the difference of having a couple games under your belt. Well, now you feel like Denver's actually in trouble. And I think there's a lot of scrutiny towards Darvin Ham. That's probably not always fair. But I also think there's a lot of scrutiny towards Darvin Ham that says, I don't know if this dude, when you go into games, when we walk away, are you saying when you walk away from the game, hey, the reason why we won this game is because, damn, Darvin Ham just coached a really, really good game. I didn't really feel that. I felt like there was a lot of times where I'd watch games, and even coming into this series, I'm like, Michael Malone versus Darvin Ham, that's a huge disadvantage for the Lakers. Here's a quote Darvin Ham had after the game. Darvin Ham said, "It's been a hell of a 2 years sitting in this seat. I'll tell you that. It's been a hell of a 2 years." He also is interesting, and I listened to his entire interview. There were moments where I couldn't really tell. I'm like, does it sound like he's hinting like he's not going to be the head coach, or does he know something we don't know, or whatever the case is? But there was a little bit of reflection on that. Ultimately, at the end of the day, your players that got to believe in you. And I don't know how much the players believed in him as the season progressed and as we got to this point. All right, Gray Fox is in Pasadena. I'm in Pasadena. What's a good place to get some food? Cap off the end of a joke of the season. Go to Noodle Street. Noodle Street and Bone Kettle. Noodle Street, Bone Kettle. 2 really good restaurants. Asian food. I think you'll like it. I appreciate the supers. Critical of AD, but nowhere without him this series. Yes, critical of Anthony Davis. Absolutely, no question about it. Critical of Anthony Davis. Nowhere without him this series. That's his job. That's like he's supposed to be one of the best players in the world. I don't know. I have a difficult time kind of getting too. I don't want to spend. I have been critical on Anthony Davis, but I'm critical on him because he's supposed to be a top 7, 8, 9 player in the world. His issue is a lot of bumps and bruises that he gets feels like hits him differently than other players in the league. It's the truth, And I don't think there's any. I think that's an observation that's fair. Certain things that happen to Bron doesn't feel like that's going to hold him out of a game. And, I'll go back to Bron as well. Bron's not perfect. Bron's also not going like he did in game 2 where he only took 1 shot in the fourth quarter. Or, the second half only had 1 shot tonight. Okay, if he's injured, he's injured. That's different. But looked like he was better as it was progressing, and he still didn't touch the ball. Ham shouldn't put Gabe on Murray on the last play. He's a better defender. Should have put Gabe on Miller, especially pick and roll defender than Austin. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll tell you this, Victor. I'll tell you that team knows exactly what they're doing. Every time they know exactly what they're doing. There's no hesitation. They know exactly what they're doing. So, you could put that any way that you want, but ultimately they don't call timeout. They just execute and they go make it happen, which they did. Okay, so here's the story that's out right now. Darvin Ham's job, it sounds like, is in real jeopardy. So let me take something from Dave McMenamin here. ESPN story out right now. He put out a story right away. For a second straight season, the Denver Nuggets way worked better, this time in the first round of the 2024 playoffs, putting Ham's job very much in jeopardy, league sources told ESPN. The Lakers plan to conduct a post-mortem on the season in the coming days before making a decision on Ham's future, a team source told ESPN. I saw something that's from ESPN. Saw something also in The Athletic. Oh, my God, there's a lot of stuff going on. Lakers' finish to the season has left head coach Darvin Ham's future in serious peril, as some stakeholders indicate he is highly unlikely to return, sources say, and then it goes on to their story. Look, I'll tell you this. If you got Sam Amick, Shams Charania, Yovan Buha of The Athletic, all of them from The Athletic, Adrian Wojnarowski, Dave McMenamin, whoever else is all reporting on this, that it's highly unlikely he's coming back, yeah, he ain't coming back. He's not. It just, I think at this point, it would be a complete shock that Darvin Ham is coming back. And for those who say, well, who the hell are they going to replace him with? I have no idea. And, I think you got to see how the rest of the playoffs play out. Are there coaches right now that are coaching a playoff team? And maybe they get blown out by the time the season's done. Maybe the Lakers already have somebody in mind. Maybe it's another clutch influence or whatever the case is. I have no idea. But I think, as you guys can imagine, like I said, I'm reading all this. Dave McMenamin's putting out there on his story that Ham's job very much in jeopardy, league sources told ESPN. And The Athletic, Lakers finished the season has left Coach Darvin Ham's future in serious peril. That's coming from Shams Charania. So you guys make what you do with that. What I think is going to hurt Darvin Ham more than anything else, I don't think this team executed well enough. I don't feel like at times where you needed to play chess and you had to have the proper adjustments, or you needed to just hold on to a lead, I didn't feel like Darvin Ham knew what he was doing. And that could just be not enough experience. That could be a number of different things. But whatever it is, and I listened to so many different things today on all these different podcasts, and some people saying, oh, it's so unfair that Darvin Ham is being targeted for this, and other people saying Darvin Ham's got to go. I got no problem with them if they could find the right. Actually, it doesn't even matter. I got no problem with them moving on from Darvin Ham and saying, okay, we're going to try something different. Now, what's a bad look for the front office? You're recycling coaches basically every 2 years. 2 to 3 years. 3 years tops. I think Vogel was 3. Luke Walton was 3. All the other coaches before that were all 2-year runs, maybe even less than that. And then obviously Darvin Ham will be 2 years as well. So that's a front office issue more than anything else. That's a big-time front office issue that the Lakers are going to obviously clearly have to figure out, and they have not been able to figure that out. So, to say the least, Darvin Ham's job in jeopardy. Tough to blame Ham when you have no bench. It's tough to make that the main thing, and it was a couple buckets from 3-2. Thanks, Lee, for the season. Leon, I appreciate it. Thank you for the super. I'm not telling you that it's not tough. I'm not telling you that it's always fair. What I'm telling you is you have LeBron James on your team. You're trying to win right now. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis. You're coaching the Los Angeles Lakers, so there's always a clear amount of pressure. And frankly, there were times Darvin Ham, I don't feel like, was making the right decisions, and it didn't look like he knew what he was doing. So I also think it's fair. I think some of the criticism, I've said this before. I think I said this maybe a week ago or so. It might have been a week ago. It might have been after they lost game 2. I think I've said I'm a fan of Darvin Ham personally. I like the dude. I like his vibe. I like his energy. Any interaction I've had with him, the different times I've got opportunities to interview him or at Lakers Media Day or whatever the case is, it's a good dude. But that doesn't mean he gives the Lakers the best chance to go compete for an NBA championship. And I think that's the position that he's in right now. He's in a tough spot. I heard Michael Malone talking about this after the game. Michael Malone was saying it's a hell of a series. Michael Malone was saying, that's a hell of a team that the Lakers got there. And then he also said that he hopes Darvin Ham is the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers for a long time. And I think, you got a lot of these, they probably see the writing on the wall. I'm sure that a lot of these coaches have agents and this and that, and the word is probably getting out that, hey, Darvin Ham's probably going to go, or he's probably going to get fired. So I'm sure that's where a lot of that stuff is coming from. Jason T, the issue with Ham is not that he isn't perfect. The issue is that he's made the same mistakes over 2 seasons. He's a poor decision maker. Yeah, and I also think just the lack of experience doesn't help him. And I know people can say, oh, he's been in the league for a long time. He was an assistant for a long time. I get that. But when you're the head honcho like he is in that position, I'm sure there are other coaches out there that know that, all right, I got a counter to whatever he's doing. The question is going to be, does he have a counter to what I'm doing? And I didn't always feel like that was the case. Shams, Lakers 20-point collapse in game 2 was likely final straw for Darvin Ham. Yep, that could get you canned. It can. That could 100% get you fired. It's funny, after game 2, and we're all going to keep going. I've already went back to game 2 now how many different times since game 2, right? How many different times did we all go back to game 2 and say, wait a minute, is that it? Is game 2 the series? Yes, it was the series, number 1. And number 2, the sequence of what happened in that game when you were up 20 and how you blew that lead and how you missed an opportunity to tie the series up 1-1, how you walked away with a couple of timeouts and a review that you didn't use, how during certain runs for the Denver Nuggets, you weren't stopping that momentum with calling a timeout, how your best player or one of your best players after the game said, we go through stretches, we don't know what we're doing on both sides of the floor. Yeah, that's probably the end there. By the way, there's some news coming out on LeBron that I'm sure some of you guys probably saw it. I'm already kind of shaking my head here, but we're going to talk about it in just a second. I just want to finish up on this Darvin Ham stuff here real quick. Kostas, thank you for being a part of the show. Hi from Greece. Alan, you have a better chance than Darvin to be a Lakers head coach next year. You should consider coming to Athens now. Yeah, might as well now, right? Summer already started. What was it? 1, 2, 3 Cancun. We'll go 1, 2, 3 Athens. Appreciate the super, brother. Okay. Let me get to some of these other comments here real quick because I know we got a lot of them, and then I'm going to go LeBron next. A 20-point lead is not huge in today's NBA. This Ham hate propaganda is ridiculous. LeBron is such a phony. 20-point lead in the playoffs, you got to win that game. And Lakers don't have any margin for error. And there were definitely times during that. It's not all on Darvin Ham, by the way. But there's always a finger to be pointed at. Usually that finger is going to be pointed at your head coach, period. That's just the business that you're in. Um, uh, did players miss shots? Absolutely. Were there things that the players could have done better? 100%. Could LeBron have hit that wide open three and ended the game? Yes, he could have. But don't tell me you were watching that game and didn't think that the head coach couldn't have had more of an impact in that game. So, all right, I'm going to see if I just get a couple more comments here just because I know there's a lot rolling in. And then we're going to get to Bron. Yep, Genie cares more about profits. I don't think they got to worry about profits. I mean, the money's coming in. I don't think anybody's too worried about the Lakers making some money. No one is talking about who hired Ham and brought in Dinwiddie and signed Vincent and let Schroeder walk. Oh, that's definitely Rob Pelinka. 100% that's Rob Pelinka. I would embrace a full rebuild. The fan base would appreciate it because we never have gone through it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the fan base would appreciate it, but some change I think might not be a bad thing. Okay, let's get into the other thing. There's some question marks right now about – I'm going to actually separate this. Okay. I got to just change my title here because a couple things have happened since I originally kind of prepped for the show. First off, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Lakers obviously lose the series 4-1 to the Denver Nuggets, 108 to 106. Time is nothing tonight. We're just going to go as long as we need to go. Obviously, a lot to get into. If you guys don't mind, if you guys have yet to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate the support. Please subscribe to the channel. All right. Did LeBron play his last game with the Lakers? So this came up post-game. You find the exact quote here. I had it up a little bit earlier. So here's the question that came up to LeBron. LeBron was asked if he had any consideration that tonight would be his last game with the Lakers. And he said, I'm not going to answer that. So LeBron obviously is he's got a player option. So LeBron, like he's done for most of his career, he always gives himself an option, kind of holds the organization, holds them in peril, kind of not really sure. Is he staying? Is he going? Is he not? I don't think he's going anywhere. I never thought he was going anywhere, but that's what LeBron has done. That's what LeBron has done. That answer to that question is very LeBron-esque. I'm not going to answer that. LeBron could have just killed everything right there and said, guys, of course I'm going to be a Los Angeles Laker. We got to figure out some stuff in the offseason. There's stuff that we got to figure out. That's not what LeBron does. And frankly, you know, when you have leverage and you have power, I get where he's coming from. Is it a little annoying? Of course it is. But that's LeBron. You guys know LeBron James. This is how he operates. This is how he does business. Now, I'm gonna read something here. And I'm doing this a little bit on the fly because I'm catching these as I go. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of the different writers right now are writing about this stuff. So I'm going to do my best to try to I'm going to try my best to read all this. So LeBron says he doesn't know his plans for his NBA future, currently focused on family and Team USA basketball. Shams had put something out. Sammy had put this on the board here. LeBron expected to play up to 2 more years. This came after the Bronny possibility to the Lakers. Okay, so we're going to tie all this in here. Let me share my screen with you guys so you guys can see what I'm looking at the same time. So give me a second here and we can read this together. Damn, there's a lot going on. All right, here's McMenamin on Twitter. You guys got it? We all looking at the same thing? I think we're all looking at the same. LeBron James spoke to ESPN late in the season about how long he would like to play. It's cool because, to be honest, I don't see myself falling off anytime soon. But then, like what I'm doing, no matter how the Lakers choose to address their problems this summer, first round flameout, James has a personal timeline all of his own. I got family. I got a 9-year-old daughter. I got a son that's in college that's deciding if he's going to go to college or go to pro. I got a son that's about to be a senior in high school. I've missed a lot of family time. They've allowed me to do that, never put pressure on me. That shit's important to me. What more is left? I've done everything I do. There's nothing I haven't accomplished in this league and I've wanted to accomplish. So, like, at some point, you got to hang it up. Okay. I thought this actually might be a little bit different. So, apparently, this is coming from a different story. But this is the story. Let me share another one because this is the story that I want everybody to see. I'm sure everybody's probably already seen this, but we're going to take a look at it together anyways. The story of I'm coming on Jovan's now. This one right here. The Lakers are open to drafting Bronny James this June to help fulfill LeBron James' dream of playing with his son. Team sources tell Shams, Sam Amick, Jovan Buha. Bronny announced earlier this month that he will enter the 2024 NBA draft. Team sources say the Lakers are very open to the prospect of helping LeBron fulfill his dream of playing with his son, Bronny James, by potentially drafting him in June. All right. Well, I don't know what you guys want me to tell you about that. That's basically, clearly just accommodating to LeBron, which I'm not surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that that's what ownership is thinking of doing. And if LeBron asks for something, they're going to accommodate it. Do I think it's a good basketball move? Of course not. Of course not. Bronny should be going back to college for another year and getting himself better prepared for an NBA season. But because Bronny is who he is and because LeBron wants to make it happen, it will probably happen. And this is the first I've seen of this article like this, but these guys are not putting this article out there unless it was real. They didn't just write this story tonight after the game ended. This story was obviously, it was very strategic. Let's put it that way. And if the question was, would the Lakers do something like this? If that helped bring LeBron back, the answer is, of course they would try to do it. In their eyes. I'm not telling you that's what they should do, because if you told me this offseason that LeBron James decided, you know what, guys, I'm done here in Los Angeles. I'm going to go try it somewhere else. I'm going to go play with Bronny because Bronny just got drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think that's going to happen. Then I would say, okay, that makes all the sense in the world. He wants to go play with his son. But for the Lakers, they would be drafting Bronny for no other reason than that's what LeBron wants him to do. So that's the power of LeBron James. I will tell you this. Bron is still an incredible basketball player. Bron is still out there making it happen. Obviously, we're watching him make it happen. And I think LeBron answering the question the way he did, is this the last game that you're going to play with the Los Angeles Lakers? I'm not answering that question. This story coming out about the Bronny piece and the Lakers being open to team sources say the Lakers are very open to the prospect of helping LeBron fulfill his dream of playing with his son. Okay, then we're just going to have to wait till the offseason and see what happens, but or when the NBA draft happens. I do know this, that date-wise, LeBron's decision for his option is June 29th. So he's got a little bit of time to make his decision. A little bit of a circus, guys. Not going to lie. A little bit of a circus. Little bit of a circus. See some of the comments here. Damn. A lot of comments. A lot of comments. No billionaire brand like Braun is bailing from LA at 40 years old. LA going to heckle him every day outside if he were to leave Lakers, but also stay live in LA. Nobody moving from LA. Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting him to move, but now you're asking to draft his son for him to stay. I mean, can we just try to win basketball games? How about that for a concept? And listen, maybe this is their best route of winning basketball games. I think we all knew what the Lakers were before Bron came. And once he did come, all of a sudden they became relevant again. Then Anthony Davis wanted to come. Then you won a championship. You've had injuries with Anthony Davis that have hurt the Lakers in the postseason or not making the postseason. Not just Anthony Davis. And now it looks like you're going to be with another coach as well. So you're going to just kind of continue this recycling of where to go. I don't believe Bron is leaving LA. He controls his narrative. His team using this report to manipulate the Lakers to do everything he wants before he resigns. Yeah, listen, I know that a lot of these reporters got really good relationships with the agents and everything else, which is why a lot of this information gets out. And it's very strategic. So they definitely know what they're doing when it comes to that. All right. Get to a couple more of these comments here. And then a couple other things I want to get into as well. Some people here saying they'll take some people saying they'll take Bronny over Jalen Hood Shafino. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad right there. Okay, I want to give a quick shout out here. They have been a partner this actually have to make my picks. I have yet to make my picks yet, so I'm going to have to do that here real quick. All right, I'm in. I think I'm in. I'm in. All right, Underdog Fantasy. They've been a partner here from the beginning. It's the first time I've ever had a partner be a part of the show. And obviously, I did some new things this year with a post game show. It's the first year I wasn't doing the official post game show on 710 ESPN. It actually allowed me to kind of put a lot of more of my efforts towards this post game show, which I obviously enjoy doing. Have been doing it for years. I've had this channel for years. Underdog Fantasy came in. They were all about supporting the channel, so I greatly appreciate them doing that. Hoops LA, that's the code. I'm going to share with you guys my picks here real quick, and I know I've done it before, so you guys kind of have a good idea of how this all works. I always do pick'ems. I always do NBA. I always do pregame, and I always do NBA. So these are picks that are going to be coming up. Obviously, I submit my picks a lot of times before. Let's just pick a game. Let's go Philly, New York. Embiid higher or lower than 32.5 points. Embiid, Jalen Brunson, I'll go lower. It takes a couple of minutes, really, honestly, to put your picks in. I always put an amount. My amount is $20. 20 gives you a chance to win 3 times your money. If you sign up on Underdog Fantasy, you put the code HoopsLA, they'll match your deposit of up to $100. So put $5 in, you'll have 10 in your account. Put $50 in, you'll have $100 in your account. So that's the way it works for Underdog Fantasy, and I appreciate their partnership throughout the year. So thank you for that. Okay, let's keep it going here. Let's see what else we got here with our comments. Slee, brutal end to a disaster of a season. Now with Ham staff likely gone. You think Jeannie has it in her to fire Rob and offer the job to Bob Myers? No, I don't think Pelinka's going anywhere. I don't. I think Pelinka's going to be there. I think he's going to be with the Lakers, and I think that's that. I think the fact that Darvin Ham will most likely be let go, I think we could expect that. Whatever is going on, whatever is going on with LeBron James and whatever questions come up, I just don't buy any of it. So I really, really don't buy any of it. I don't believe that the Lakers are I don't think there's going to be any of this. LeBron is a true threat of leaving the Lakers. And I think gotta be honest with you, I think there's a lot of Lake fans that wouldn't mind turning the page. I don't know exactly what that page would look like, but I'd be open to it. You know, I think Bron's already spent 6 seasons with the Lakers, and I don't want a circus. That's what I don't want. I don't want, if Bron comes and they draft Bronny and it's not necessarily about winning, that's not necessarily what I would like to sign up for. And then it's going to be up to the Lakers and the front office to make sure that the product is incredibly, incredibly competitive. So obviously a lot's going to have to do with that as well. All right. Couple other things that I have yet to get into, which will be a conversation as well. D'Lo is undecided. By the way, thank you for everybody that sent a super. I appreciate you guys doing that. D'Lo is undecided about future, but acknowledges that he has leverage and is planning on using it. D'Lo. I'm going to throw a topic. I'm going to throw a topic out to Laker fans here real quick. You want to see D'Lo back? Would you like to see D'Angelo Russell back? D'Lo, I think you guys would agree, when a big part of the year, first couple of months where you're like, all right, I remember, I've told the story before, I'll tell it again. I remember when D'Angelo Russell, there was a moment where D'Lo got benched in December. Maybe a game against the Utah Jazz. I forgot who they were playing. And in my eyes, I'm like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, yeah, D'Lo's this is an important year for him from a contract perspective. And if this guy's getting benched in December, this is not a good trajectory for him. Give him credit because he turned it around. He really, really turned it around. Became a big threat for the Lakers, and then all of a sudden started becoming the player that the Lakers needed him to be. D'Lo was critical to the Lakers. I mean, I'll give tonight as an example. Every game that he played well, the Lakers had a chance to win. And the games that he struggled in, they didn't have a chance to win. So I think that kind of says a lot of how important D'Lo was to this team. Playoffs, he was a little all over the place. First game, really bad. Second game, really good. Third game, really bad. Fourth game, pretty good. And then this final game, 2 of 10 from the three-point line. So it didn't end the right way. Now, he had some buckets. He was confident in himself, got to the basket, didn't just depend on the three-point line. So I thought D'Lo did some good things tonight, but you could also obviously call out D'Angelo Russell for going 6 of 15 from the field, but did have 6 assists, had 14 points, but it took him 15 shots to get 14 points. That's usually not going to get it done. Here's what my gut tells me. My gut tells me D'Lo won't be a Laker. That's what my gut tells me. And if D'Lo's putting on there that he's already putting out there, he's undecided about his future, acknowledges that he has leverage and is planning on using it. By the way, I don't blame him. You got leverage, go use it. You got there's a reason why he had a player option, and he's going to have an opportunity to use it. And obviously in Los Angeles, when you're playing for the Lakers, you get a lot of scrutiny. A lot of people are pointing the finger at you if things are not going right. The spotlight is very, very big. And I don't blame him if he decides, you know what? Let me go play somewhere else. Let me go get a longer-term contract. And maybe I don't want all the spotlight like he gets it in Los Angeles. And that's completely fine as well. I just asked the question because I'm curious from Laker fans if they don't want to see him back or they do want to see him back. So let's do that here real quick. D'Lo shot 36.5% this series, 32.3% last year's Western Conference Finals. Okay, I'm going to give you guys just an idea of how Laker fans feel about D'Lo. Okay? Just I'm going to do my best. If I could keep it even, I'm going to keep it even. I'm done with D'Lo. Okay? Let's keep going here. Let me see here. D'Lo is delusional like Ham at the end of games. No, D'Lo sucks. I think D'Lo played fine given his contract. Okay, there's a positive one. A lot of no's here. Nah, no, hell no. This is to my question of do you want to see D'Angelo Russell back? Okay, we got one here. Paul, yes, D'Lo must be back. D'Lo too inconsistent. A big no. D'Lo ain't built for this. No. Yes, but trade him. No, 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 hell no. So the fan base doesn't want him back. Me personally, I'm 1,000% okay with D'Lo declining that player option and going somewhere else. I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. And I feel like that's what's going to happen as well. Good in the regular season, obviously struggled in the playoffs. So D'Lo is a starter level player in the NBA, not a third star. So a lot of people, I think, anti on the T money. Hell no. I think a lot of people know on the D'Angelo Russell piece of all this. We need D'Lo's contract to trade. We don't have much cap. Could happen. Maybe some type of a sign and trade, something along those lines. I don't know. I know that that's what happened previously with another contract that he had. All right, let's keep going here. Let's find some more of these chats here. Slee, I don't understand your position on Bron. Played 44 minutes at age 39, still averaging 27.98. Also, you really think Bron will play for anything but to win, even if his son is not like he wants Bronny in the starting lineup. You know what it is? Listen, I should have spent more time on this because I didn't. Bron was, again, really, really good tonight. Bron at his age is doing things we've never seen before. Not for 1 second am I looking at LeBron James and saying the guy's not living up to his expectations. He played 44 minutes tonight. Anthony Davis got a stinger. He was gone. Bron just keeps playing. The dude's a tank. He's a complete tank. 30 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds at age 39. But here's what I don't want. I don't want a circus. That's all I don't want. I just don't want a circus. And you're probably right. I think your stance on think Bron will play for anything but to win, you're not wrong there. I think winning is important to him. I think he definitely wants to be competitive, and he's kind of proved that in his years with the Los Angeles Lakers so far. But when I say I don't want a circus, is I don't want this just he's playing with his son and the attention is towards there and got to get him minutes or time, or I don't know. I just don't know what comes with all of that. Never seen it before. This is not something that we've seen before. So it is different. And I hope you understand that position as well. I don't think it's just going to be just regular business as usual. It sounds like it would be different. So, what happens from there, I have no idea. Okay, we got some people that are supportive of D'Lo. D'Lo is the only player on the Lakers that can shoot the three off the dribble. Okay, let's do this. If we're trying to think of other guards here, let me find another story for you guys here that's coming. Who would have thought all this is going on, and the conversation quickly just turned away from the actual Lakers game. So this was on The Athletic. Jovan Buhat reposted this. The Lakers are eyeing a third weapon to bolster their lineup. Could the Hawks' Trae Young be the missing piece? Here it is, the excerpt from The Athletic. The Lakers are expected to be aggressive in the market, with league sources close to the team indicating that Atlanta's Trae Young is a name that will be discussed. Okay, maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it's just a good conversation and a good topic, but it doesn't have all that much juice to it. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. We'll have to obviously have to wait and see. But for those that are asking the question, like, who can you replace D'Lo with? For those that are trying to see, Trae Young is a third star. 3 superstars don't work anymore. For all that stuff, I think, let me give you guys my conspiracy theory. I think that the Atlanta Hawks, when they were looking to make a deal potentially with the Lakers with DeJounte Murray, thought if they could fleece the Lakers, they would try to fleece them. And if they couldn't, then they would wait till the summer and try to trade Trae Young and try to fleece another team, because I think they want to keep DeJounte Murray. I think they'd rather keep DeJounte Murray over Trae Young. That's what I believe. We'll see what happens. I think they could probably think they can get more for Trae Young as well. And the Lakers might 100% be that team to say, we'll take Trae Young off your hands. I'm not a huge Trae Young fan. That scares me a little bit. But with LeBron and Anthony Davis, who knows if that could be a short-term thing. But if you told me the Lakers are building a team around Trae Young and Anthony Davis after LeBron James, I would not feel good about that. I just wouldn't. I don't think there's probably a lot of Laker fans that would be crazy about that. All right, let me see what else we got here. People are already starting to put comments in here about Trae Young. Let me find a couple of these. Trae Young solves none of our problems. No size, no defense. He'll hit shots, I'll tell you that. Trae Young sells tickets. They're selling tickets anyways, brother. Trae Young is a third star. You can't get a lot of better playoff performers for a salary. Not hard to beat. 38% shooting career. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is going anywhere, or I don't think he's going to go to the Lakers. I think, we'll see what happens. They're tied 2 apiece. What if they go out in the first round? It's a good question. I don't know, actually. I'm not 100% sure. I thought all the reports were that Donovan Mitchell wants to go to New York, but maybe that's not the case anymore. If you told me Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young, that's not a hard question to answer. It's Donovan Mitchell all day. Another defensive liability. Yeah, I would Donovan Mitchell all day long. All day long. Okay. There's a lot today. All right. A lot today. And unfortunately, the game became secondary and the Lakers losing the series became secondary. But that's just the nature of the Los Angeles Lakers. So we didn't even really get to soak in on it. I got a couple things that I want to mention here. A couple quick announcements here. So season ends 4-1. Nuggets win the series. I just want to give a quick shout out here. So it's my 6th season, maybe, doing YouTube. I know I've had the channel since 2016, and I was kind of just exploring with it before. We're close to 25,000 subscribers, and I just want to say how much I appreciate your guys' support of the channel and hanging out over the course of this past season. So, unfortunately, things happen so abruptly, and it's like, bam, the season is over. We don't have post-game shows to do now because the Lakers are done. However, I'm going to be putting up a ton of content. So don't worry. I'm going to get you guys content. I'll have Sammy putting up some content. I'll continue interviews and everything else. So we'll continue to do that. But I wanted to just tell you guys I appreciate the support. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I think for tonight, that's it. That's all we got. Went about an hour here. I know there's still a lot of people on the chat and everything else, so I appreciate that. But there's going to be a lot more that happens here over the next couple of days. And as more information comes out, I'm 100% going to keep putting information out there. So stay around the channel. We'll make sure to keep rolling up our sleeves. Unfortunately for the Lake Show, that's a wrap this year. You know, I think that coming into the series, I thought that, Denver would win. But once the series kind of kept going and how competitive the Lakers have been, it's like, all right, they're going to steal game 2. It didn't happen. I thought tonight they were going to win. Not coming into the game, but as the game was progressing. But it clearly didn't happen. So we will continue to talk Lakers basketball. But unfortunately, this portion of, obviously doing Laker games, that's done for this year. And then I'll kind of figure out when we're back on. I know I'm back on tomorrow for Lakers Talk. And when we do that radio show, it's going to be live on YouTube as well. It didn't happen last week. I don't know. They a little miscommunication, but it will go up, and I'll continue to keep putting up content. So thank you for hanging out, Laker fans. I appreciate it. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. Unfortunately for the Lakers, season's done. The 108-106 loss tonight means the Nuggets win the series 4-1. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. We'll get back with you guys very, very soon, and thank you for hanging out all season. Thank you, Laker fans.